Hi, and welcome to my podcast. This is my first podcast. I'm trying it out. I've been really enjoying watching everyone else's podcasts, and I thought I would give it a go, just like lots of people are doing, I think. So my name is Naomi, and I am a knitter. I have been knitting for a long time. I started knitting when I was like about 10, and I've kind of not really ever stopped, but I've only recently discovered the sort of like community around knitting. I've not had a lot of friends who are really sort of obsessed with knitting. I go through like phases of what I'm really obsessed with craft-wise. But anyway, so here I am. I have been working in Canada, so I'm normally based in London, but I've been working in Canada for a month and what's the date? 2 month and a half, and I've got another month and a half left. So I thought actually it's a little ridiculous the amount of things I've knitted and the things that I've purchased, all the yarn that I bought, and I thought it would actually be kind of fun to do a podcast from here. So this is not my home, but this is a lovely Airbnb, and I thought I would show you some of the things that I've made since I've been here, and probably not all of the yarn that I've bought because, let's be honest, it's a little bit of a problem. Okay, so I brought a bunch of yarn. I thought, oh, I need projects for the 3 months. You know, that's crazy, right? Packing yarn for 3 months. I don't know why I thought I needed to pack yarn for 3 months, because we all know we're going to yarn shops, don't we? I mean, it's Canada. I gotta go to the yarn shops. I gotta get some Canadian things. Anyway, so I'll show you my FOs. The first thing that I finished since arriving, this was when I was in quarantine, was my Wednesday sweater, which is a petite knit pattern. And it is knit in, I got this yarn actually to dye, and I didn't end up dyeing it because I wanted to make this, and so it's a superwash merino arran weight from Yarnundyed, which is a UK company that sells yarn for people who want to dye it, which I recommend. It's really nice, good prices. I think I got I got around like 1,000 meters of wool in arran weight for like 35 pounds, maybe 40 pounds. This is actually one skein of mohair. The mohair I got in Prague when I was working there by a yarn shop called Yarn Queen. I think they have a badge. Oh, I have a badge from them. This is a badge that I got for free when I bought the wool in Yarn Queen. Yarn Queen. Hashtag knit life. Anyway, this is one skein, 100-gram skein of mohair, silk mohair, that was dyed by the shop. They have their own dyeing that they do. So I played a little bit of yarn chicken with this mohair because it was from far away and I only had one skein. So I made it possibly a bit shorter and possibly a bit tighter than I wanted, but I know that superwash, in my experience, has grown a lot with wear and wash, so I wasn't unhappy about that. I'll show you. It's not too tight. One thing I will say is I'm not super happy with double knitting on when you do double knitting before a tubular bind off. I'm not very happy with the result of that. It's what's in the pattern, and I've done tubular bind offs before without the double knitting, and I've done it before with the double knitting, and I find the double knitting just makes it tight. So it goes over fine, but it feels really tight, and I don't know if that's possibly to keep it from stretching out, but I also don't like the way it looks. Like you can see it here, the double knitting. So I think in future I would skip the double knitting and just do the the tubular bind off. I like this, that you can wear it sort of this way or scrunched. Or I actually quite enjoy wearing it inside out like that. So it just kind of stands up and is a bit of a cow, but it's super, super cozy, super comfy, and I think it fits really well, actually. Possibly a touch shorter than I would have wanted it, but that was the yarn chicken. And actually, I ended up with extra on the mohair. I did the sleeves first, and I barely used 500 grams. This was my extra of the merino, and this is another 100 grams, and then I have another 4, I think. So I have another 500 grams of this, which I have plans for. But where's my extra mohair? I'll cut this bit out. Okay, it's officially disappeared. I have no extra mohair. It is now gone. Well, I had plans for that mohair. No! There it is. It's at the bottom of the other bin, I didn't think. So there's actually a fair bit of mohair left. I don't have a scale here, so I don't know how much, but it's not a little bit. So I'm hoping to make a matching hat with the rest of the arran weight with this and this again. I want to get a nice pattern for a ribbed arran weight hat. I think I might try the hitchhiker hat. I will attempt to link things, but I don't have a lot of faith in myself. I will try though. Anyway, so that's the first thing that I finished when I was in quarantine after coming here because Canada was still on lockdown. And then I think the next thing I finished was this. This was actually a finished object before I came to Canada, but then I wasn't happy with the way it was fitting, and so I cut it and fixed it, so now I'm very happy. And I'll put a picture in of what it looks like. But this is the drawstring Camisole by Pearl Soho, and I redid it. I redid the numbers based on my gauge, which is something I learned from, I can't remember her name now, but I mean, the concept is make a gauge swatch, learn what your gauge actually is, find out what the finished measurements are supposed to be for your size, and then multiply out so that you, based on how many stitches you need per centimeter. Oh, I need to put that back on my finger. I was just climbing, so this is around my neck, so I didn't squish it. Anyway, based on the stitches you need per centimeter, for example, you work out based on the pattern how wide it's supposed to be, and then you do the maths to work out how many stitches you need for that width, if your gauge isn't following the gauge of the pattern. So I did that. It was a fail, and the top bit, you can kind of see here, it was this width. So if I wore it kind of where I wanted to wear it, this is the back, so it's fine. But if I wore it where I wanted to wear it, the side boobage was a little bit extreme, let's say. So I had to wear it like up here for the side boobage to be more reasonable. And even then, the side boobage was, I'm happy with some side boob, let's be fair. But it was, and the problem was, I did this in linen, BC Garns Lino, and which I also got in Prague. It's so much it's softened in the wash. It feels amazing on. The problem was, this is obviously a warm weather top, and I wanted to wear it when it was hot out. Over here in Calgary, we had the heat wave, and the problem was that I was wearing it, and I had to wear it like up around my neck, and it was like, this is not this is not cooling. This is like, it's like warm. It's too warm. So anyway, I went to the lovely knitting shop in Calgary called Loop Kensington, and the woman who works there gave me a great idea. She said, "Why don't you just cut it here, and then pick up the stitches, and then redo the folded casing for this thing." And I was like, "That's a great idea." So that way it can be lower, and it'll still be no side boob. So that's what I did. I just cut off the back bit of it, basically. So it's a little bit shorter now at the front, you can see. But overall, it's a far more functional garment, and I'm very happy with it. I did a modification, which was when I did the back, I actually just did it in two pieces so that I had a split back, and then because I thought that would be cool. But other than that, I more or less followed it. I think also I didn't adjust the decreases right with my rejigging of the pattern. So I really want to make another one of these. I have some yarn to make it. What I liked about the Pearl Soho one was it was really shiny and it looked like really chic. This one's definitely more linen, you know, it's definitely more like down home kind of a thing. So I love this. I wear it all the time now, and the fit is so much better, and I don't have to like wear it carefully. You know, it's horrible wearing something carefully, right? I hate that where you're constantly adjusting, and I like it to just be free. Let me put my ring back on because I don't like it just dangling around my neck. But the wool that I got to do this again, I actually got here, which is stupid because I doubt I will actually end up doing it again. But it's Trubu, which is 100% bamboo, and it's from Lion Brand. I went into the Joann's because I don't usually go into big box craft stores, and I thought, well, I'm in North America, go into the big places. Everything's just bigger in North America, I think. Anyway, so that's my other finished object, and then I brought this, which I got on eBay, and guys, let me tell you, I have so much of this. I have 12 balls of this. This is 6 right here, and there's 1, 2. This is my leftovers from. I'll show you the project in a second. These are my leftovers, which is basically 4 balls. So anyways, this is ice yarns, and I got this on eBay from someone who was destashing. It was £14 for the whole lot, and it is. I just loved the color. So I have a thing where I don't like to wear anything that's plastic, really, any kind of nylon or acrylic, mostly because I try to stay away from the processes, and generally speaking, I try not to buy new clothing items, and that kind of includes yarn, sort of. I've kind of broken some of my own rules. I feel like bamboo is really renewable, so I go for bamboo. I generally try to stay away from buying any kind of cotton, even if it's like wool, and anything that has plastics in it is just, I worry about the like process that's needed to make it. So, but if it's used, or you know someone else has already like purchased it, then I feel quite happy to, if they're not using it, to take it off their hands and use it myself. So I was kind of unhappy with how this felt knitting up, because it is 25% alpaca, 20% wool, and then 55% acrylic. And that's a lot of acrylic, so it feels very acrylic-y. But it says it's a sport weight, but I mean, girl, that's a thin sport weight. Anyway, this is, and by the way, I don't know what kind of voice I'm doing right now. It's happening, so we just let it be. I've got all kinds of weird accent things going on here. This is what I made. It's the beginnings of a September jacket by Petite Knit, and my plan was to, continue and finish it, but I just liked it too much as it was. And the intention was for this to be a slouchy, just cover the arms when I'm wearing something else kind of a thing. And I think it works best this way, so I've decided not to finish it. So there's no button band or collar. There's no buttons. There's no pocket. It's meant to have pockets here. But also, I found that though it's really slouchy here, it's actually quite tight on me here. So I don't even know how good it would look on me, like, down up. I tend not to really be a cardigan person, but I'm kind of trying to... I love this the way it is. I love it as, like, basically it's, just an arm warmer. Also, when I picked up stitches, well, I won't say what the pattern exactly says, but the pattern had, like, a number of stitches to pick up and also a ratio, and I thought the ratio would be the ratio of, like, how many stitches to pick up versus pick this many up and then skip one and then this many and then skip one. So I went with the ratio instead of the number because I thought that would keep me from having, like, loads of holes. I should have gone with the number, not the ratio, because for whatever reason, I think because I prefer my, I don't know, for whatever reason, the number of stitches I got around the arm was humongous. So there is some serious floppy arm situation happening here. But you know what? We roll with it. It's not blocked yet. I need to block it. I've been wearing it too much. But yeah, since I made it, it doesn't feel as annoyingly acrylic-y. So anyway, I have all this left, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking it would be quite cool to make a matching top. I was thinking maybe a matching t-shirt or a matching tank top. Because, how cool is that, Matching top and cardigan. And then, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe a skirt. I have this in my head. I have this perfect skirt idea that's, like, around a little bit lower than knee length and, like, not full but not pencil, and sort of, like, a little bit full. Very clean. I feel like that would be amazing, but it's not like strong enough in my mind yet. I have a whole load of, when I think of something that I really want to make, I go in a deep dive on Ravelry, and I find, like, everything related to it, and I kind of, like, get around and I get, like, hundreds. I've got thousands of patterns in my favorites. I only have, like, 35 in my queue, but in my favorites, that's where I have, like, a pool of things that just, like, appeal to me for one reason or another, and then I can kind of, when I want something, when I want to actually cast something on, I don't look in Ravelry, I look in my favorites, and I search in my favorites and go, okay, this is the yarn I have, and I want to follow that, or I don't. Sometimes I don't. And then I look, like, what are the hats that I've found that I really like, or what are all the different scarves that I like, or whatever it is. Anyway, the next finished thing I have is I got this cotton from a local yarn shop called Stash Needle Arts, and don't mind all my tools. I have, like, everything around me. It's a bit of a nightmare, but I kind of like being a bit of a nightmare. So this is called Clean Cotton by Universal Yarns. Universal Yarn. It's entirely recycled. So that's what I try to do when I'm buying something new, is have it be, like, recycled. So it's recycled, 85% recycled cotton and 15% recycled polyester. So this is the leftovers. It's so interesting. This purple is, like, soft. It feels like almost softer than Pima cotton. And this feels like cotton, like normal cotton, how it's a little bit rough. This feels like the stuff that like Egyptian stuff, or like the cloud cotton. I can't remember which brand does that, but it's so soft. It's funny how just a different color can do that. So this is what I used to make some Aran weight cotton socks. This was an experiment. I just cast them on. I bought the Fish Lips Kiss heel, which I really enjoyed doing. And I just cast on some socks. I know that cotton that cotton doesn't have a lot of elasticity, so I thought, my logic was, okay, if it's not very elastic, then make it super tight so that it will like be tight once it's on. It'll be a pain to get it on, but make it tight once it's on. But they turned out okay. The only problem was I actually just made them too small for my feet. Like, again, too tight. I think I used like a 46 stitch cast on. I mean, it is Aran weight, but it's definitely something to be perfected, I would say. But cotton socks, I mean, it's hot out. You want some tube socks that are cotton and not wool. So I tried it. And overall, it's great. But see, that's the heel. It's sitting on my foot there. So anyway, they feel pretty good. I don't think I really like the Aran weight as a sock particularly. They're good like house socks, which is not really what I was intending, but it was an experiment. It's basically sock gauge swatch, I guess. And then what I did was around the cast on, I just put this, I got this from a fabric shop. It's like for masks, but they had it in pink, and it's just a piece of elastic, and I thread it through the top of the sock. So you can see how it doesn't hold it doesn't go back to shape. You're gonna have to make it look nice. Stretches out so much. But this makes it so that once you get it over your heel, it then squeezes back around your ankle and looks nice. So I'm going to try this again, make it actually fit my size. I might give these to my sister because she's slightly smaller in size than me. We'll see if she wants them. And then the other thing was I jumped on the ranunculus train, and I made another thing that's too small for me. This was another situation where I was playing Yarn Chicken, and I don't know. So when people say they lose at Yarn Chicken, usually it means they ran out of yarn before they finished the project. When I lose at Yarn Chicken, I think what happens is I'm so terrified of running out of yarn that I actually stop before I finish the yarn. So I have, if I'm like guessing, maybe 20 grams left. Maybe not, maybe 10, 15 grams left of this wool. And I stopped. So I don't know, why did I stop? It's too short for me. It's far, far too short. I might put a picture on of me sort of attempting to style this out, but it's too small for me. I think I'm going to give it to my best friend's 4-year-old daughter. Because it's just way too small. Like, I mean, that's just a belly shirt. Also, I don't love this. So I'm considering with the extra yarn, I've split it into 2 balls, and I'm considering crocheting around just to add a little bit of weight so that these kind of just sit, because I'm just not, I tried to block this out and it didn't block out. Also, I don't like it when things are in my oxters. I just don't prefer it. As you can see with this top that I'm wearing, like, I don't like things to be in my oxters. They're gross in there. I don't like my clothes to be touching. Anyway, it's beautiful, and I'm a bit of a chaotic knitter, so you can probably see that I don't think I got the eyelets right in this section. I think they're off. It's okay. I'm okay with that. This feels glorious. I did it with one skein of Malabrigo lace. It's 100% merino, and I had it again from someone's D-stash. I bought it, and it was already like hand wound up, so I think it was the full skein, but who knows. It is so soft and so light and airy and just so beautiful and gorgeous. Also, the other thing is I did this with size 6 needles and 6mm needles, and it's not really oversized at all on me. So gauge swatch probably would have been wise. But did I do one? I think I did not, possibly. Anyway, so I have yarn to make another one for myself that will actually fit. If I continue doing this, you're going to see how many things I make and give away because they don't fit me. And I feel like plenty of other people do that, maybe? I don't know. The cardigan and the jumper and the top I'm definitely keeping. This is in the maybe pile. So then I finished this. So I arrived in Canada in the 21st of July. So this has been almost 2 months worth of FOs, so that's quite a lot. So it'll be much less in the future. I made the radish. You can tell I have a color that's my favorite. Can you? I don't know. I made the radish, which is a Rowan yarn pattern. I made it with 1 ball of Remix, Barocco Remix, which is again 100% recycled. It's got silk, cotton, linen, and acrylic in it. Again, I messed with the pattern because the pattern is made for DK or a bit less, maybe even. I think it's DK, and this was arran weight. So I messed with the pattern. I wanted it to be cropped, and it is cropped. But I shall show you the problem. The cool thing about the pattern is it comes with a pattern for a round neck and for a V-neck. And what I did was I did both. Instead of having the back be like a normal back, I made a V, so you can have it with like a V at the back and just a normal neck, or you can have a V-neck and a slightly lower rounded back. So what I did to alter it was, instead of doing the maths, because obviously the maths didn't work the last time I tried, and like changing everything about the pattern and rewriting it, I just lessened the amount of stitches here because I thought that would keep it cropped instead of making it like too, and I wasn't worried about it being too big here or anywhere else. The other cool thing about this pattern is it's knit sideways, so you start here and you knit across. You do some, instead of short rows, you do increases for the shoulders, which is cool. I was like, why am I increasing here? And I was like, oh, it's like short rows. And then you decrease down here, and the whole time you're doing the lace pattern down here with this cool edge. And then you pick up again, and you go all the way across. And then I think you could have just kept going, but I suppose you want the seam on both sides, not just on one. Anyway, this is the top. I don't know. It's very, very low here. So it's like a full-on, like, you know, you need a bralette under there. Yeah. So that's it. One thing about this yarn is it's a little bit scratchy. I'm not sure if it's the recycled silk, because I think that comes from like saris, maybe? Recycled saris. I think it might be, but the yarn looks really cool. It's got all kinds of like interesting nibs and things. This is it the other way around. It doesn't look very good on here. It looks a little bit like a smock almost. It's very thick. I don't know. It's oversized, and that was kind of what I wanted. but we'll have to see. Might become a gift for someone slightly larger, but then I don't know if they would enjoy how deep it goes here. That's what happened was when I did this, it didn't work. When I lessened these stitches, I realized it was going to be way, way, way too cropped. So I actually lengthened here, and then that made this huge open, wide side. The other thing I was considering was getting a contrast color and just knitting, like even this perhaps, like, and just knitting and picking up stitches on either side and making like a little, like, almost like flat panel on this side and that side, just to make it, I don't know. Let me know what you think. And then that is all of my FOs since coming to Canada. So I will now show you my whips, and let me tell you, girl has a serious whip problem at the moment. Like, I've never had this many whips. It's a serious thing, but you know what? Sometimes we're in a mood where we just want to skitter back and forth, and sometimes we're in a mood where we want to focus, and all of those things are okay. They're all perfectly fine. So I'm okay with it, but I'll show you my whips. It will take probably just as long as all of those FOs. So the first one is probably my oldest running whip. This is a thing that I've been making with my sister. I got the yarn for her. She lives in DC, I live in London, so I thought it would be fun for us to make a jumper together. And I asked her if she liked the Gibson ruffle blouse by Fable Knitwear, and she said yes, so I bought her some Knitting for Olive mohair and merino in the same color. I think she picked claret, maybe. And so the blouse is it's a jumper. It's a fitted crop jumper, and then it has this beautiful ruffle around here that's done in mohair. So we've been working together, and I've been basically holding off on this until so we can we Skype together and we knit. So it has this gorgeous lace panel at the top, and then the sleeves are just a very subtle bishop sleeve, so it goes out a little bit. I've just started on the ribbing. It's got twisted rib, which is lovely, and at the back it has, it's kind of hard to see this because it's black. Let me it's not black, this is navy. This is the back, and it has this cute little button hole, and then I just found some buttons in a charity shop. I'm going to check and see if they look nice on this. And it even has this little thing which basically is the backing, so when you close it, it is fully closed, basically. The issue I have with this jumper is that I have a huge head. So this jumper, to get it over my head, is, I'll show you, it's a real thing. But I am really liking how it's looking. I have to actually get it on one side and then push it over to get it over. But then once it's over, it's a great fitting neck. I really, really dislike necks that are sort of crew, but they're a little bit too big. It bothers me a lot. So this is the jumper. This is how it looks, and I love the way that this fits. It's a beautiful pattern. This is just my top underneath. It's almost a fitted sleeve, basically, but it's done top down in the round. It's all just so beautiful. I'm doing this in a lace weight alpaca, which I got from Yarnundyed. It was in the sale, and hilariously, I thought this is 250 grams, and I thought, oh, I need like 3. They were £14 each. This is still my first, and you can see there is a lot left. So I got 2 other navy jumpers waiting to be made. Well, you wait, not quite waiting. Anyway, so then it's gonna have ribbing all the way down to maybe here-ish. I like them to be here because I like to not have to pull my jumper back to look at my watch. Anyway, so yeah, twisted rib. It's cropped, so it's about here, and that's like fits perfectly with like higher waisted trousers if these were higher waisted, or like with a skirt, or you know, just to show a little bit of belly, which is cool. I love it. It feels wonderful. I love alpaca. It's so soft. This alpaca, I would say, is like a little bit scratchy, but I like a little bit of scratch. I think it reminds you that it's there, I think. I have the mod tee, which is also in alpaca. I held this yarn, but a different color, double, and I really like that as well. But it's a little bit heavier. I don't mind me just, you know, a non-stretchy enough bind off on my body. Just pulling that over. I need to either decide that I'm going to do something about this neck, like perhaps do some kind of like snip situation to make the opening wider, or I just need to be like, this is what this neck is. It's a pain every time you get it on and off. But it is a blouse, it's not a jumper, so you put it on and that's what you're wearing, and then you take it off, and so it only goes on and off once in the day. Anyway, that's been my whip for quite some time. It lives in this bag. When you buy things from Lucy and Yak, they give you these amazing bags out of scraps of fabric, and they are perfect project bags. Lucy and Yak is a clothing company in the UK. They make those dungarees that everybody loves. So, other whips. This is my probably other second longest standing whip. I entered in the knit-along for Solid Sock knit-along, which was a general hog buffer pattern, and it was a mystery knit-along, so you got each section of the pattern, like I'd never done a knit-along before, I'd never done a mystery knit-along, it was all new to me. And I was like, oh, this will be cool. That was months and months and months ago, well before I left for Calgary. And I brought it with me to finish in Calgary. Do you know how much of it I've done since I got here? That's right, 0. It was my first Bavarian twisted stitch sock, and it's gorgeous. Look at it, it's beautiful. But the problem I was having with it was that I was knitting on it with, I don't even remember now. I think I was knitting on it with I think it was these needles. So I was knitting on it with 9-inch circulars, and these are Addy, I think. Yeah, they're the ones that have like a shorter one here and a longer one here. And it was just too tight for the Bavarian twisted, like with the cable, like it's a struggle, like just to get the tips together, like look at how much it's like stretching. I guess where like cables and twisted stitches are obviously tighter, you can see, because like here and then it goes in. It was too tight, so it was a struggle to do everything. Like I was pulling it every time I did it, and it wasn't enjoyable. So I then got myself some long needles in the right size so I can just do magic loop instead. I generally don't like magic loop, but I like that it's there for you if you need it. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it on Magic Loop and give it a second chance. If I still find it a struggle and I don't want to pick it up, I'm going to just be like, this is beautiful, and normal sock for the rest of it and finish it, because this yarn is gorgeous. It is from River Knits or River, I think it's River Knits. Obviously don't have the band. I live on a houseboat in London, and this is a couple who hand dye yarn on there, and they live on a houseboat as well. So it was really cool. The yarn was absolutely stunning, and it's a sock yarn, but it doesn't have any nylon in it. So it's, I think, blue-faced Leicester. I could be wrong. I don't have the ball band anymore, but I will have a look on on River Knits, and I'll link it so you can have a look, because I mean, I love this. Look at the gorgeous way that the colors are just so subtle, and it just looks like, the pattern is called Pescatarian by General Hog Buffer, and all of General Hog Buffer's sock patterns are free, and this pattern is now long up, full. You can knit it if you like it. Anyway, I thought Pescatarian, River Knits, wool that looks like running water, perfect combination. I didn't think about the Bavarian twisted stitches though. That was where the combinations went downhill a little bit. But we have a plan. We're gonna try it. The next, well, I also have a hoe. And this is a test knit hoe. It is gorgeous. This is a more recent one, actually. We're getting into the more recent ones. So I went to a yarn shop that carries this yarn that is called. It's a company called. I'm just looking here because I have some more yarn from this company. It's called Custom Woolen Mills. That's what it's called. And so Stash Needle Art Lounge carries a lot of custom woolen mills in Calgary, and I went to all the yarn shops they have in Calgary, every single one. I'm not joking. So I mentioned Loop Kensington, which is a lovely shop, wonderful woman, had a wonderful chat with her. She gave me a discount just for being a nice person. I mean, how wonderful is that? She's the one that gave me the idea for fixing my top. Then I went to Pudding Yarn, which is a great name, and this is where I got this. This is like some, basically just, I mean, completely opposite to what I was just saying about like not buying plastic things and not buying new. I bought plastic new things because this means I can make sparkly socks. So, girl's a hypocrite. What can I say? Hypocrite. So I had that because I was like, sparkly socks, absolutely. And what color did I go for? You know, what color do you think? And then I was accepted to test knit Rose Bloom Knits Swan Lake socks, and I was just like, this is so perfect. I had been wanting to make ruffly socks. I had just bought this sparkle, and anyway, Swan Lake socks, I was like, perfect. These are amazing. Also, they had a small amount of cabling in them, so I thought also this might sort of just get me back in that cable swing of things so I can finish off those other socks. So this is the socks. I have to finish the other one by the 25th. But it was such a dream to knit. It was so easy, so wonderful. I'd never done shadow wrapped short rows before, and that's what they use here, which I think were great. Also, they were great for like no holes here. I loved that. I mean, how beautiful are these? Just a a beautiful little frill situation, and these cables are just so delicate and lovely. And so I had the sparkle. You can see sparkle happening everywhere. I mean, I could show you my sparkly sock collection. I found a charity shop that had a whole bunch of sparkly socks in them, and I was like, well, getting all of these, what can I do? So this is the wool. It's actually a single ply, and it's 100% wool and no nylon. So it's the opposite of what most people want to use for a sock. It's from Custom Woolen Mills, and it's the mule spun yarn. So they have a mill. They have a spinning mill that is operated by mule powered. This is mule powered yarn, folks. Ooh, that's quite fun to say. Mule powered yarn. A lot easier to say that way. So gorgeous. And this is the natural color, and then this one was a mini skein that they had that was dyed naturally. So this was dyed with avocado. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous peach color. So I need to make the second one, and then I need to wear them everywhere when it gets a little cooler. I've had one day where I got to wear my Wednesday sweater because it has been so hot here. So hot here. So next step, I am not finished with all of my whips. I'm not joking. This is outrageous. It's fine. This I am making for my mum. I got this wool. We spent a week in another city in Alberta, not Calgary, and we stayed in a hotel. And you don't have anything to do after work. You're just like in this random city. So I found the nearest yarn shop, and I went there, and they had some Cascade merino and silk blend that was in the sale, and so I got 3 skeins. I really saw it and I was like, I want to make something color work with this. And I wanted it to have the base of brown, but they only had 1 skein in the brown, and I was like, well, I can do this. I can ravelry this out, and I did. I ravelried it out. So this is the Feel the Burn jumper t-shirt by Caitlin Hunter of Boylan Knitworks. And I changed the colors, obviously, because these were the colors that were in the sale, and these were the colors they had. But it does have, like, brown as, like, the base, but it's a small enough amount that I was able to do it. I still have a little bit of the brown left, so I'll be able to do the little bit of ribbing at the bottom. But currently I am working on the... the pattern is meant, I follow the pattern exactly apart from here. The pattern is meant to go back to the brown at this point and then ribbing. And I'm making this for my mom, and I think it'll be too cropped for her. So I'm actually going to do 3 repeats of this, 2 repeats of this, or 3 times total. So it's going to go dook, 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 and then I'll have a little bit of ribbing here, and that'll be nice for my mom. She's a little bit smaller than me. And I think she's going to love it. I think she will also appreciate that this is modeled off of Bernie's mittens. She'll appreciate that very much. I think it's gorgeous, and I think the colors turned out really well. I took the pattern, when I bought the pattern is free, which is amazing. I got the pattern and I put it on my iPad on Procreate, and then I just like colored it in with the colors in different ways to see which way I liked best. So all the color work is what she did, but some of it is, like, color 1 isn't, okay, so like in Caitlin Hunter's pattern, the brown won't be in the same places that my brown is, but all of the differences of color are exactly the same. So I didn't like mesh anything together, but I changed where some of the colors lie, just because I needed to use more green and less brown. And more blue as well, because I knew I wanted this bit to be brown. So I had to save the brown for that, but still have enough of it that it looked like it was still the background. Anyway, I'm really happy with this, and it's been really fun. It's been my TV knit because it's so fun and it knits so quick because this is DK and it's just super quick. I'm doing this on the Patterns needles, which is 4.5 mil. And then that is not my last whip, guys. I told you that I had too much of this wool. I brought an extra one because I thought, well, I'm going to be away, and if I run out, I'll need another one. At that point, I didn't realize how much there is in one of these combs. I didn't realize that. So I brought a second cone, and then I was like, well, this cone's just sitting here. It's not going to be used. So I might as well start a new sweater with it now, as opposed to finish the one I already have. But that one is special. It's for my special knitting time with my sister. So there's a reason why it's taking me so long to finish that. So with this cone, you can see I think I've actually used more of this cone than that one. Yeah, I think so. This one is more used up. That makes me laugh. I decided to make a cherry. This is all influenced by Heather and Hops. A lot of this is influenced by Heather and Hops, I will be perfectly honest. The ranunculus. Well, the ranunculus was probably Knitting Traditions and then Heather and Hops. And the cherry was funny because when I looked at Midori Hirose's like pattern list, when I look at a designer, okay, this is Ravelry talk time. So I don't know what you do. Tell me what you do. I'd be really interested to know. But when I look on Ravelry and I find a pattern I like, I go to the designer's page and I have to look at every single thing that designer has made. And if I like things, if I want to see more, I open them all in new tabs. And then once I've opened those in new tabs, I look at how many tabs I have open, and I decide, okay, do I want to favorite this designer? Have I liked enough of their things? And then I favorite them, and I have my pattern highlights set to only be the designers that I've favorited, so that way I can look through my pattern highlights. Basically, I should have just created an Instagram a long time ago, because that's the same thing that Instagram does, I guess. But when I look at my pattern highlights now, it's only designers that I've favorited, so I can see when they've come up with new designs as they come up. I can just check it once a week or so, twice a week, and I just see all the designers that I've previously favorited, the new things that they're creating. Anyway, all of that was just to say that when I looked at Midori Hirose's patterns, I had already looked and favorited the ranunculus, just randomly. I think I found her through an Amarisu magazine. Sometimes I just look at random magazines on Ravelry and I find the patterns I like in the magazine, and then I look at the designer that made those patterns. Am I mental? I think I might be mental. Tell me if you do that. Anyways, I didn't favor the cherry. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was nice. I was like, no, not me. And then Kat just made so many of them, and I was like, okay, they look great on her. They're pretty fabulous. And what I really, really wanted was something thin and light and that I could throw on, and that was basically, I knew I wanted to use this extra thing to make something super light, super loose gauge with super thin yarn and have it be just wonderful. And do you recognize this yarn here? That's the yarn. That's the leftover yarn from my failed yarn chicken with the ranunculus. So it was the same weight, and I thought that's perfect. It doesn't stand out very much, which is one of the things I really liked about one of Kat's cherries, was that the color work didn't really stand out too much. It was there, but it wasn't super obvious. So anyway, I have got most of this done. I'm hoping to maybe finish the sleeve today. We'll see. I'm not going to push myself. I don't want to. Sometimes when I have only a sleeve to finish, or I'm close to finishing a sock, I'll just stay up like way later than I needed to. And it's like, what? I didn't need to do that. I could have just done it the next day. There's no reason. Why do I need to do that today? There's something exciting about casting off and then going to sleep. I don't know. Do you think so? Anyway, here it is. I think I'm going to block it to be ever so slightly longer, but I like it. It's a little bit dangly. I don't know how I feel about this. This is an interesting way to do the ribbing. What I love about her patterns is there's so many options. This cherry has so many different options. This is like ribbing and then, like, it's like ribbing and a rolled hem combined. But I love this gathered bind off, and I did the sleeves. There we go, that's better. I did the sleeves to pattern, and I think they're perfect. They fit perfectly. I love how loose this is. Nothing in my Oxter. I love that. And the bind off is perfect. It's loose, but it's loose enough, but it's not super loose, and it's very firm, which is nice. And I think, so this is blocked, because I blocked this just to like check my gauge and check everything. And this isn't. So you can kind of see how, like, let me see if that's better. Yeah, you can see how this is like grown and puffed out, and it's the same gauge and everything. It's just this isn't blocked yet. So I think this will be look a little bit less like mesh once I've washed and blocked it, which I'm so excited to do because I can't wait to wear this. I'm gonna wear it, I think, a lot. So yeah, pretty close here. I think I'll finish the sleeve tonight. I've been watching Atypical, which I really have been enjoying. It's not, usually like a sitcom isn't my thing, but I really have been enjoying Atypical, and so I will sit down this evening. I'm gonna make peach crumble, and I'm gonna watch Atypical. So my stitch markers are really cool. I just got them from Coco Knits. I got them in Stash Lounge. They're just really pretty and small. The problem I was having with mine were, like, I had those plastic ones that you get from like Amazon for cheap, and they were like the swirly ones, and they're so thick, like the edges are so thick, and I feel like sometimes it makes my where I knit over it not very happy. These Coco Knits come in this really cute box. I'll show it at some point, but and then I have Knit Pro, or I think it's also called Knitter's Pride. Guys, this is a new type of cable called like a mindful cable, I think. Look at this. Look at me twisting my needle, and that's just how it is. So it has basically here it can rotate. So in order to like take the needle off, you have to hold on to this bit, and then you twist it. But once this is twisted, when you're knitting, you can knit in the round, and it doesn't untwist itself because it just rotates happily on its own. The cable is like a twisty cable. Well, I say that, but no, here you go. It's phenomenal. It has made everything different. Made it all different. So, that's that. And then yesterday I thought, you know what? I don't have enough whips. I need to start something new. Partially true, partially not. So I have another finished object outside. Let me get it. This is my Sugar Boo bralette by Cadre. I love the pattern. I had another ball of the remix, which is Arran weight, and this is perfect because it's Arran weight, so none of my dodgy maths that don't actually work, and it's top down, which for a when you want to like use one ball to make a top, it's perfect. And for how we understand my problems with, but even the ranunculus is top down. I don't know how we came to this weird yarn chicken situation where I made it too small and I have extras. I don't know why that happened. I guess I just thought, like, that's enough ribbing, I can't do more ribbing, and I just decided to start the ribbing too soon. I don't know. Anyways, it's top down, which is not super common for a camisole. I just finished blocking it, which is why it was outside in the heat being blocked. And I thought this would be lovely for my sister. I thought she would really like it. So I made this for my sister. My family's going to come see me because they live in America and I live in the UK. So Canada's close to them-ish. And also it'll be the first time that I've seen them since Christmas, 2 Christmases ago. So it's very exciting. So I have like Christmas presents, birthday presents, but they're all at home. I didn't bring them with me because I didn't know if the borders were going to open when I came here. So I don't have any of their like Christmas presents, but I was like, I'm going to see them. So I'm making that top for my mum. I made this top for my sister, and that's why I cast something on last night. I wanted to make something for my dad. Oh, I'm going to have this because I have a kombucha, which would be really nice. It's my Friday night, so this is my, oh my goodness. That was a disaster. Tastes delicious. Complete disaster. Hilariously, I have a little washcloth that my friend made me. Well, he made it and then he didn't like it, so he gave it to me. I'll show you in a second. It's his finished object. I taught someone that I'm working with. He already knew how to knit, but I reminded him the stitch, and I got him some wool, which is where all this like cotton that I got, because I was saying, okay, in my opinion, here's a little side note, the best possible beginner's project is a washcloth, because for so many reasons. The biggest main reason is when people begin knitting, they make a scarf. And the problem with a scarf is actually, fine, I've started, I'll go into it. The problem with a scarf is it's way too long and repetitive. And long and repetitive things are fine once you have the motion of knitting as like something that's like easy for you. But when you're learning, it's not easy. You're learning it, obviously. It's not going to be easy when it's new. So something that's that long and doesn't have a definite end, it's just going to be torture, because the whole, like, a scarf is fine once it's like, once it's meditative to knit, then you can knit a scarf, go all day, fine. But when it's not meditative, a scarf is the worst possible project you could do. It's so boring, it has no definite end, and it has edges which are going to be seen, and that shit never looks good when you do your first project. So a washcloth is perfect, because we don't care how those edges look. We don't care how any of it looks, actually. And it's actually useful. And the thing that's great about knitting is you get this huge like serotonin release when you finish something. You're like, I have a thing! I made a thing! And this thing is going to get done real quick. And it's going to be useful and cool. Like, you're like, oh, now I have this pot holder or this, face cloth. They get used. They're not useless. So I made this. I didn't make it. I saw a free Ravelry pattern, but I turned it into, I don't remember what I did. I just basically took a pixelized picture of a turtle and I turned it into a knitting pattern for him. But the mistake that he did was, I don't know if you can tell. So here's the beginning of the turtle. It's got a little fin here. It's got another little fin here. And then he accidentally kind of messed up where he was in the pattern. And the other half of the turtle is on this side. So his right side became his wrong side, and his wrong side became his right side. So he finished it, and he's like, do you want it? And I was like, yes, actually, it'll be very useful. And I don't care how it looks, because it's just a cloth. So anyways, that's what happens when I spilled something. I love this because I don't drink, but this like looks like a beer, so I feel like I'm having my beer on a Friday night. Also, I love it because I love kombucha, and this is delicious kombucha. Okay, so back to this. The only thing that I did differently was I added this little bit of a V, so I just started the ribbing a little bit early and kind of like slowly went on to the rest of it. I think it's cute. I might, if I did it again, I might do like slightly more maybe, or make it higher maybe, but I think it's cute. It's just a little subtle thing that makes it my own. I love this pattern. I love the way it looks. I love the way the edge is really, really firm, and it actually, because the edge is so firm, it creates this little like poof that makes it like a cup, which is great. What I've done with this is, because I was knitting till the end of the yarn, I knit the straps before I like got to the end. So I knit the straps just with the outside of the ball, and I knit them way too long. I think this is too long. I think if you had this on, it would be like, I don't know, maybe you'd want it that low. But that's the point. So I knit them to a length that I thought would be too long, and I left the string, and I have picked up the stitches here, and I have live stitches here, and I'm just holding them together with a stitch holder or a stitch marker, which function as a mini stitch holder. And I've washed and blocked it, so it's all ready to go for my sister, but she's going to get to try it on and decide how long she wants her straps to be. And then we'll unravel to the length that she wants them, and then I will just quickly graft at 6 stitches, so it'll take me 30 seconds to graft those 6 stitches together. Well, no, it's not 6, it's 3 and 3, so yeah. So I will then quickly graft the stitches together, and she will have a custom length on her straps. The other thing is, because these are just picked up, if she wanted, we could do like a cross on the straps, or, the world's her oyster. She can choose what she wants. Customizable knitwear right here. She's also a knitter, so she could also just take them out and do it herself. But I thought that was a cool idea. Like for gifts, I guess it only works if you're around or if they know how to graft. But it's a cool way to like make sure that it fits them well without having to like undo work and redo it. So that's actually a finished object, but that was my sister's thing. My mom's thing is close to finished. So last night I decided to cast on something for my dad. He loves slippers. He has those like puffy North Face slippers. I thought I might try my hand at making him some slippers. So this is again from Custom Woolen Mill, and it was just this one ball of like super bulky wool that Stash Needle Lounge was selling for $2. And it's 100% wool, just dyed blue, really thick and bulky. I got the pattern on Ravelry. I bought it. It's a paid-for pattern. It's a seamless felted slipper, so I'm excited. It's new to me, very interesting. I've done Judy's Magic cast on before, but this is going to be the sole of the slipper. He has pretty big feet, but obviously this is going to be felted. I've never felted anything before, so I'm excited to try it. This flat does have a dryer, so I can use that. It's knit on super big needles, 15 mil needles, and this is the sole. I'm about to start going up, and then I knit I think you then go up, and then you knit I'm not exactly sure. I don't read a full pattern. No, that's not true. I do, when I test knit, I read through the entire pattern, I think twice, before I started test knitting it. But that's because I'm a good student. I don't know why I said that. I just thought that was the good thing to do. Normally I don't read through a pattern. I kind of find it fun to like not know what's coming. It's like, oh, right, what's next? What's next? What's next? So I don't know, I like it to be a surprise maybe. I have a lot of yarn that I bought. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm only going to show you the things that I've started. I haven't even started swatching for them, but I'm sort of about to start swatching for. And that is mostly because I want your opinion on this. This is a Canadian company called Gathering Yarn. The wool isn't milled in Canada, but it's dyed in Canada. And I got this one was from the Loop Kensington, and it was on offer. And it's this gorgeous fade. So this is obviously the first color, and then this, and then this, and then this. I suppose it's easier if I take them out so you can see the colors that they fade to. Oh, that's being washed out. But it fades to this like gorgeous, gorgeous salmon. And it's about 1,000 meters in total, this amount of wool, because it's 50 fingering weight yarn. They're 50-gram hanks. There's 6 of them, and yeah, it's like 1,000 something. So I've balled this up. I don't own a ball winder. I never have. I've always just wound them up myself, and I do center pull balls, and then I really enjoy winding up the ball. It's really enjoyable. It does mean when you're like excited to start, you're like, it's not quite ready for you. But what I want to do with this is I want to make a matching top and pair of shorts, because this yarn it's called The Harvest is Here, I think, which is, oh no, maybe it's called Lino Rami. I don't know what the name is of this yarn, but it's Gathering Yarn, The Harvest is Here, stock lots from mills. And then it says Lino Rami, 60% cotton, 28% linen, 12% Rami, which I think is a form of viscose, a form of like plant fiber. And sorry, it's getting dark, so this is less than ideal. This is why I'm not going to show you all the yarn that I got. But anyway, I'm going to use this. It's interesting. It has a little bit of a like curliness to it, if you can see. It feels just divine. It feels like the perfect combination between like smoothness of cotton, or like softness of cotton, smoothness, silkiness of like viscose or bamboo or whatever, and then the like structure from linen. So it's not just like fluffy cotton, but it's not just like stiff linen, and it's not just the like super drapey bamboo. It's such a gorgeous combination. So I can't wait to swatch and see what this looks like knitted up. And I want to do a top and a matching pair of shorts and have the top fade and then the shorts continue to fade, and it'll just be one outfit of fade. And I'm so excited for it. I did get tempted by just doing a full dress. There was a dress that I was looking at that had like 2 tiers of almost not ruffle, but like where it kind of, I can't remember what it's called. I need to have dinner. Anyway, was tempted by a dress, but I don't think so. I think this needs to be a top and shorts. I really, really want some cotton shorts, knitted cotton shorts, and I can't decide between a Jessie made pair of shorts and because I can't decide between those two. But I think I originally had wanted to go with a Jessie made top, but most of hers are bottom up, and I don't think I can do bottom up because it has to fade, and I have to be able to, anyway. I also have kind of an obsession with like trying to like finish the ball of wool, so that would be my ideal, is that I could just like go all the way and just finish all the wool. But I mean, who knows? Maybe I need to knit everything bottom up. Ooh. If I knit the shorts bottom up and then the top bottom up, it would still fade if I started from the other side. Ooh. I might have to investigate bottom up shorts. Or I might have to design some. This might actually be better, because what I really wanted to do was like an outline tank or an outline tee possibly, but the tee is always okay. Your thoughts much appreciated on this. The other thing that I am swatching is, I haven't started swatching, but I have balled up the yarn to swatch. This, ooh, that's a lot. This is absolutely stunning. It is a little bit fluffy because it's been in the shop for ages. I got a discount because she said, I think it's just been sitting around for a really long time. So it's Diamond Luxury Collection, Mulberry Linen. So, girl, it is alpaca, mulberry silk, and linen. 50% alpaca, 25% mulberry silk, 25% linen. I mean, I cannot tell you how this feels. It is a drapey, squishy, silky linen dream. And it is a phenomenal color. I mean, it's just beautiful. And there's plenty of it. I got 4 skeins, I think. It's 125 meters per skein. So I cannot wait to ball this up. I mean, to knit a swatch and then to do a pattern. I think I want to do either the outline tee or the open edge tee. I mean, they're very similar, aren't they? I might be leaning towards the open edge tee, but I just want a slouchy, loose, linen, silky, oversized, boxy tee that I will live in. I will absolutely live in this. I'm so excited. Oh, I didn't show you my other finished object. It's in the wash. This was the failed version, but I got this bamboo sock yarn that has like elastic in it, and I was like, I need to knit some pants. So this is the failed version. This is like a thong. But I have the finished version actually. I'll show you. Little pair of bamboo underwear. I've been kind of obsessed with bamboo garments in general. They're just soft and wonderful. I have a pair of bamboo leggings that are just beautiful. I did the same thing here that I did with my cotton socks. I used this pink elastic and just threaded it through the top bit around the bum because it was a lot around the bum and it needed gathering in. The top I didn't, I just let it, this is just rolling. Partially because it's not pink, if I'm perfectly honest, but also because I don't think it's completely necessary. I do think that I'm gonna make another pair, I think, because this wasn't perfectly perfect, but I think next time I might do the elastic here as well. And I might yet for these. I've only worn them once, but I have to say, when I wore them, they were a dream. Like, I didn't notice, it's just like, it's just like a cloud around your bum. I did something really stupid when I joined in the round. You can't quite tell anymore, but I joined in the round to finish this, and I joined twisted, and I just twisted it back. I couldn't be asked to fix it. So I think it's this side that's been twisted, like, twisted round. Anyway, that probably didn't make any sense. Just pretend I didn't say that. I'll edit it out. I won't. I don't know. I don't even know if this is happening or if I'm going to edit it. There is an absolute bomb site, and people always say this, and I think there's always a secret desire to see the absolute bomb site. So if you want to see the absolute bomb site, further bomb site, further bomb site, all of this
plus a little tiny mini bomb site over there. That's not quite so bad. Thank you so much. My Instagram, my Knitstagram is naomijtodd, and yeah, I would love to hear from you. I don't really have a knitting community, so partially I want to kind of reach out and create one as well. So lovely to see you, and I hope I actually put this out. We'll see. Bye!